Well, how's it going, guys? Welcome to our stream. Let's go ahead and reveal the screen here and see what happens. So we're going to be taking a look, obviously, right now at Order of Battle, World War II, and we are, of course, playing Panzerkrieg. And I want to, first of all, thank everybody for showing up. Thanks so much. No, we actually got that from our brand manager, Alberto. He did the joke, so I can't take credit for that particular pun. That being said, guys, we still have a few minutes until the stream, so I'm just opening up the actual visual here. I thank you. Yes, good point. Good point. Overlays on top. And see, we locked them this time, so clearly the lock doesn't seem to work so well. We locked them on top, but they did not remain on top. There we go, guys. That probably is better. Let me know that if you see the screen here, the actual Order of Battle screen, please let me know in the comments down below. And we shall begin here momentarily. Take a look here at the chat. Looks fine, looks good, good. You can see the game perfect. So guys, we are going to be playing the Battle of Sevastopol here in Panzerkrieg. So this is actually, of course, another addition to the Order of Battle franchise, and a beautiful one at that. This battle is actually quite deep into the game. Well, not deep, but let's say halfway into the game. So we want to be a little careful in our advance, and let's take a look here at the Soviet city of Sevastopol. Of course, this is a city on the Black Sea, so it has a tremendous strategic value to both the Soviets and the Germans. If you take a look at this particular battle, we have a lot of Romanian units, and I've actually been surprised at how well they fight here. They're really, really good. I'm going to go ahead and get rid of tutorial messages, but in a second here, I do want to give you guys some information that separates this game from other games from the Order of Battle series. So we're going to be moving forward here. If you guys think that the sounds of the machinery in-game is a little too loud, let me know. We can lower that. I've also saved the game. Remember, this is a beta build, so we might get a crash here and there. I don't think it's going to happen, but if it does, we at least have the game saved. So we do have to destroy a number of bunkers in this particular battle. I'm going to get started. And of course, as you can imagine, the Soviets are going to try to hold out under any circumstances. Unfortunately, our Romanian friends here are basically going to be cannon fodder, pretty much for enemy mines, etc. Okay, sure, will do, Muso. Thank you. Lower the volume of the game a bit. I know that sometimes the game can be a little loud, so we're going to go ahead and, as you can see here, sound volume, we'll put it down a bit, just a little bit. And we shall continue. So I'm going to be basically probing with my Romanians. I'm not going to run right into the enemy tank tracks here. As you can see, they've got more of these bunkers. But once again, not the greatest foxhole in the world. Machine gun foxhole, and fairly easy to take out. We've also got some Romanian artillery, and we'll open fire here. Another thing I found really funny, and I do want to give you guys a disclaimer, that basically in this particular game, you want to definitely keep in mind that the forces we have here are not the forces you're going to be getting in-game. You see how we have 2,327 requisition points? Unless you're an incredibly good player, that's not going to be happening. So we've been given these forces. Give me just 2 minutes, guys, intermission. I'm going to grab some water, and we shall return. But now, you must wait. Hey guys, can you guys hear me okay? Hello? Alright, perfect guys. Sorry about that, just ran to the bathroom for a second. Okay, here we go. How to approach this situation? So, we definitely need to destroy enemy bunkers during this mission. Let's move forward. Okay, so guys, once again, one of our mission goals is to destroy 3 regular bunkers and 1 fortified bunker. I think this counts, but not 100% sure. Let's see. Alright, look at that, another enemy bunker, but once again, I think you guys will realize these bunkers are a lot weaker than most of the bunkers in the game. So let's see if we can take this one out. And if we can waste a few of these bunkers, I think we're going to be just fine. Now, when I was setting up the forces, I basically put everybody here on the eastern flank. We also have, and let me show you guys, a northern flank up here. And we've got Thor. That's right, we've got Thor, guys. Does anybody know what Thor is? And I'm not talking about the Nordic god, but the actual weapon itself. Let's see if anybody knows in the comments down below. Okay, another thing in this mission that I think is very important to say, guys, is number 1, pontoon bridges, if you're approaching from the north, are a necessity. For that, we need some engineers. We can actually purchase some engineers with the massive amount of requisition points we have, but I'm going to wait just a little bit. Yes, that is it, Artistocrats. Wait a minute, you guys made the game, you don't get to answer the questions. How's it going, Lucas? I hope you're doing well, my friend. Thor equals painful, says Audie. Yes, exactly. That's a very good explanation of Thor. So we're going to actually go ahead and open fire with Thor right here. We're going to get up close and personal. Oh, beautiful. And we'll also attack with our Panzerkampfwagen. Alright, there we go. Let's see what else we can do. Now, we've already moved forward with these troops for the most part, and we have plenty of requisition points. So I'm going to purchase some units, but I'm leaving it up to you guys. Now, keep in mind, this is Sevastopol, okay? So this port is right on the Black Sea, and we are already seeing a bunch of tank traps, but there's a reason that this is called Panzerkrieg. So, do you guys think we should get some infantry, artillery, tanks, or a mix of all? So, I think we can make a straw poll for that. I'm not going to purchase any units yet, but so infantry, tanks, artillery. Let's just put infantry, tanks, and artillery to see if you can, Muso, what the priority is here for most of the folks. And I'm not moving the 37mm, but I will move these Romanian troops. Okay, and it's going to be a rough attack, but these guys have to go sometime. We could also get rid of this minefield, which I think will be very helpful later on. So once again, let's use our Romanian infantry, unfortunately, like cannon fodder. Sorry, boys, at least you accomplished something. Once again, we're moving forward. And as you can see, the Soviets have so many defensive positions set up here. This particular area, now, I'm sure we've got a lot of grognards here that probably know a whole lot more. But one thing I know is that Sevastopol was extremely important because of its proximity to the Black Sea. So once you have, obviously, the ability to get to the Black Sea, any number of different strategic options can take place. Now, if you guys have played any World War II games on the strategic level, I'm going to jump in the chat here, see what you guys are saying. Artillery talk, spotters, need more arty, says Gary's. Doesn't work as first come, first serve. Indeed. Okay, and also, guys, I want to, first of all, I didn't even mention this in the beginning of the stream. Being here in Italy, you know, kind of forget a little bit, but happy Thanksgiving to all of our American friends. And we actually like to say happy Thanksgiving to all of you guys. So we're going to go ahead and attack this bunker. Now, in a lot of order of battle games, if I see a bunker, I pretty much just try to avoid it. I try to get away as quickly as possible, and who cares, you know? But in this case, we actually have to destroy some bunkers to win the mission. So, another really cool thing, I'm I'm not sure the historical precedence for this, but there's a Romanian tank here. You guys notice anything funny about this Romanian tank? It's a Renault R35. So this is a captured French tank that apparently the Germans gave to the Romanians. It's kind of interesting because initially I used to think that French tanks were terrible, that they really weren't any good. But actually in 1939, 1940, the French tank could certainly stand up to the Panzer III, the Panzer II, etc. But of course, at this point in the war, we're in 1942, I can kind of see why the Germans would turn over their French tanks to their allies. Probably a good idea. As you can see, we're moving slowly here, and I see a lot of people are talking about artillery, which I can't say I totally agree with, but I'm going to go ahead and trust you guys on this one. Okay, what did he win? Ah, congratulations, Piddly and Squishy. And also, guys, I want to say just a huge hello to 106 people here. If you guys are watching on YouTube, thank you so much for showing up as well. We love you guys equally. Let's go ahead and I kind of want to move this gun right there to see what's in the town, but I know that that's not the right idea. As soon as we move the gun there, we're going to put it in a really bad position. So I'm going to purchase what you guys suggested, and that's going to be a little bit of arty here. Let's get some arty. We'll get some really expensive arty. And we'll also purchase this STK V7. Now, another really, really cool thing about this particular DLC is if you've played Blitzkrieg, you can actually take your core forces from Blitzkrieg and transfer them to Panzerkrieg. That doesn't mean that you're at a disadvantage if you just want to get Panzerkrieg. It simply means that you can take those forces that you used in Blitzkrieg and bring them here. Another issue is that if you want to upgrade forces in Panzerkrieg from your core units, a lot of people worry like, oh, well, all my core units are from the 1940s, 1941. What difference will it make? Well, the cool thing is in Panzerkrieg, to upgrade those units, there's actually a significant discount. So let's say I've got a Panzer I or a Panzer II, and I want to upgrade it to a Panzer IV. Instead of having to pay like 250 requisition points, something more like 20 or 30. You're basically turning in your old tanks for new ones. That being said, let's get a few more pieces of artillery here, and then Agrippa is going to decide. We're getting two huge pieces of artillery, actually. So let's put one there, and let's put one here. I think that's good. And let's go ahead and grab... We do need some infantry. We also have some Waffen-SS units. I want to see what kind of tanks they have. So they've got a Panzerkampfwagen 4. I'm going to go ahead and purchase one. And once again, we're attacking from the east. Now, some of you guys might think, well, why don't you attack from the north as well? And primarily the reason is the Russians love destroying their own bridges here. I might send a few forces up here just to disrupt them, but they're probably going to be infantry forces. So I'm going to see if we could send some SS infantry here. German infantry, 1942, nope. But we could probably send some Wehrmacht forces. So let's go ahead and send some German infantry, 1942, in an SDKFZ. It's actually quite expensive. 100 just for an SDKFZ. I would try to barter down just a little bit. And let's grab an artillery piece up here as well. Maybe not. Let's grab some strategic. So indecisive. Yeah, I think I'm going to go ahead and pay the 200 for the Junkers. I mean, the Junkers is just great. You can't go wrong with this thing. And if we're going to have a Junkers, we should probably also get a fighter plane to protect the Junkers. So I'm going to grab a Focke-Wulf. We could also just take a regular Messerschmitt, but a Focke-Wulf is only 5 more, so why not? You know what I mean? I'm going to go ahead and grab him. And it looks like we can actually take off... This is a little weird. I didn't know this, but apparently with the fighter planes, when we requisition them, we can take off of them immediately. I always thought you had to wait a turn, but I guess that's not the case for the fighter planes. Let's take a look here at the comments. Even if you're blah, blah, blah... Ah, thank you, Van Bishop. They behave poorly because French still use tanks as infantry support only. Ah, interesting. While the Germans employ them as independent units. That makes sense. So, yeah, once you cut off the enemy with a blitzkrieg, things are going to be better. Things are going to be worse. Sorry, guys. What? Agrippa no Stuka? Says Mildov? Not now. No, once again, the Focke-Wulf is just beautiful. It's a great plane. And the Junkers is, in my opinion, a better bomber than the Stuka. Of course, these are different kind of bombers. A Stuka is a dive bomber, but I actually mentioned it in the comments below before the stream, and I personally think, I think there are megaphones. There were megaphones that they would mount on Stukas so that when they dove, they would make that dramatic Stuka sound, that meow sort of sound. I promise I'll never make that sound again. Not intentionally, anyway. But basically, that sound, in my opinion, is not a good thing. I mean, number one, if I was a soldier on the ground and I heard that, first thing I would do is look for cover. I'd much rather be in a position, if I was a Stuka pilot, to just go ahead and attack and hope for the best. Speaking of hoping for the best, we're ending the turn here, guys. We still have plenty of points to buy units, but I don't want to buy them just yet. I want to give it a little while and see what happens. Oh dear, unmoved units. Oh yes! I don't know why, but we've got a Schnellboot over here. I don't see what he can really do to help. It's not like he can actually bombard the coast, but I guess he could take a look at Sevastopol if he gets close and get a view of the city. So, what else have we not moved? Our anti-aircraft. I'm going to leave him there. Turning it over to the Soviet Union, guys. So it looks like they're trying to take down our tanks with some mortar fire, and they're also doing a little tiny counterattack over here in the north, and actually that was very effective. Wow, I expected us to completely pull out of there with no issues whatsoever, but damn did the enemy kick our butts here. They really did. Oh my goodness. Come on, guys. I told you the Romanian troops have definitely improved in this particular DLC. I thought it was at first luck-based, but no, they're performing quite well. So as you can see here, guys, just to take another look at those primary objectives, we have to capture all primary victory points, and there are a lot of them. We've got Sevastopol, Inkerman, Bartenievka, and we also got Chersonie, and down here we've got Balaklava. Yes, Balaklava, I know. I have no idea if that's the origin of the actual Balaklava. The point is, Sevastopol here, I'm thinking that these other cities near it are actually just, what's the word I'm looking for? Just suburbs, basically. It's just a massive city. But as you can see, we also have to destroy 1 fortress and 5 concrete bunkers. That's a lot. Inbound. Intercepted radio message indicate that the enemy is sending troop transport ships across the Black Sea to reinforce Sevastopol's garrison. And this is one of the terrifying things about Sevastopol. The fact is, you know, despite the fact that it was cut off entirely from the Germans could not cut off the supplies coming in from the Black Sea. And I was trying to mention earlier that basically, if you've played any other World War II games, especially operational level games that we make a ton of operational level war games, you'll realize that Sevastopol is always a really tough city to take. And there's a reason for that. Even though the enemy is not getting supplies from land, they're getting a ton of supplies from sea, including reinforcements. Let's go ahead and use our Junkers. Ooh, that was nice. I don't think I remember hearing that. We had a little air alarm there from the defenders, which is interesting to say the least. Okay, what should we do with this fighter plane? I think I'm just going to keep him near my bomber for now. I'm going to keep on destroying these areas, but first we'll try to soften them up with some artillery fire. And as for these guys, we're going to go ahead and give them some reinforcements. Now, check this out, guys. Upgrade unit to different type. You see how this is German Infantry 1941? And if I just mouse over this, it's telling me discounted upgrade available. What that means is we can go ahead and upgrade this unit to a better one, 42, and only pay 32, which is really, really cheap. I'm even going to go ahead and get a nice little STKFZ to come along with us. We can do the same with all of our 41 units here on the front. Of course, it takes a little while, but that's definitely a really cool bonus, being able to upgrade those units for not a very expensive cost and still keep on pushing forward. So here we go. Let's see if we can wipe out this bunker once and for all. Beautiful. Good work, Panzerkrieg. Gonna roll right through that rubble and keep on moving forward. It doesn't look like we're going to do very well against this enemy in an attack, so I'm actually going to go ahead and get some reinforced troops. And one thing I love about Order of Battle is you don't have to reinforce troops and not move. You can do both during a turn, which I think you should be able to anyway. Now, these Romanians are taking a pretty nasty beating from the Russians. So there are several things I could do. I could send them into certain death and do some damage to that artillery. I could send them back and try to attack this bunker complex. Or I could attack this enemy infantry, or I could just retreat. I am going to attack the artillery. Sorry. Told you guys that these Romanian units were going to be cannon fodder, and unfortunately, that's currently their main job, is to be cannon fodder for our advancing German infantry units. Boom! And look at this, guys. We've got some Romanian mountaineers. I don't know why. I've always just imagined mountaineers to be Finnish, you know, Norwegian, etc. To see some Romanian mountaineers is interesting, to say the least. So I usually wouldn't do this, but I am going to move our 37mm Bofors to open fire on the foxhole here. And I'm not actually even sure if these foxholes count as bunkers. That's another thing to keep in mind. We want to make sure we're destroying the right thing. And if these foxholes aren't bunkers, then we need to focus our forces elsewhere. Go for the glory of Romania. Beautiful work. I told you, these Romanians aren't so bad. We're going to do the same to this machine gun nest. And as you can see, these are pretty rudimentary machine gun nests, not really that effective. We're just going to keep moving forward, but we've got to be careful. As you can see, I don't know if you guys are noticing, I'm not trying to move up multiple tiles. I'm moving up one tile at the most, because quite frankly, the enemy is all over the place trying to stop us here. I'm pretty sure that any commanders that lose Sevastopol, if they're not captured by us, are absolutely going to be captured by Stalin himself, and he's not going to be very forgiving. This is an extremely important area. So once again, just one tile. I'm not moving up a lot. With the Romanians, though, I hate to do this, but let's go up a bit more. And of course, we've got ambush here on the road. But we're actually close to one of the victory locations, which is Chernoye. I believe I'm saying that right. Let's take a look here what you guys are saying. Hello, Hako. Good to see everybody here. Very cool. Wow, very cool. Very, very cool comments here. So I like what Cable Nexus is saying. Come on, Agrippa, you guys need that oil, says Meal Golf. But I think what he said was really a good point, and I do want to reiterate that. This is absolutely a game for both adults, kids, you know, anything in between. And it's still challenging. It's not easy, but if I had a son or a daughter that liked wargaming, this would probably be one of the games I would introduce them to. I mean, number one, the visuals are entertaining. That keeps people, you know, sort of interested in the game. And I think it's fairly straightforward once you learn the basic mechanics. Just a great teaching tool. Sometimes I wish that teachers would use games like this in schools to really, you know, teach kids what happened in World War II and things like that. So yes, I would absolutely agree that this game is a great beginner game for strategy gamers of all ages. Maybe not like 3. I mean, you know, that's probably a bit much, but this is a really good game to learn with. So we're going to be moving that Renault into the woods, attacking. So again, guys, don't move tanks into the woods. It's not a good idea. So we're going to open fire here and move forward. Now, another thing I want to go over, guys, and this is basically a few more additional things in the game that you're going to start noticing very, very, very quickly. So give me just 1 second here. I want to make sure that we haven't messed up with any of our units. Everything seems okay. Okay, guys. So the first change is that now artillery disorders after consecutive turns of firing. So what that means is basically, if I keep on firing with Thor here, he's eventually going to get tired. You know, it's not easy to load a gun like this, or any artillery gun, really. And it's actually, you know, one of the units during war that isn't talked about a lot are artillerymen, and believe me, they've got a really tough job. Lugging around shells that are 80, 150 pounds, 60 pounds, etc., non-stop all day is going to take its toll on anybody. So what's going to happen here is basically if you run out of shells, you're not able to fire anymore, you basically go into what we call disorder, and you have to wait 1 turn to recuperate all of your shells. So that's number 1. Another thing is the movement rates of various types of terrain have been revamped to better simulate terrain and the war of maneuver. Of course, the war of maneuver is the ability to cut enemies off, cut off supply lines, etc., attack enemies from the rear, attack them from multiple locations. So now there's a difference between dirt and paved roads, and each type of unit gets a different movement value depending on its type. So foot, wheels, tracks, etc. Very, very interesting stuff there. I already told you guys about the carryover system. So if you have Blitzkrieg and you've got a really cool army, you don't want to lose them, you can carry them over here to this game. In terms of carrying this unit over, or this army over to other particular scenarios, I'm not sure. I think as long as it involves the German military, you can pretty much do it. So I think we've moved everybody. Have we? We can move this guy a little bit closer. I've never heard of this weapon either. Okay, let's take a look. I guess we'll keep moving our Schnellboot. So the Schnellboot does have a little torpedo on it. It's not exactly the most terrifying thing in the world. It's actually, it's kind of a cute little unit. All right, let's attack. Come on, boys, German engineers. Oh yeah, those flames work very well in the woods. And I think I'm going to have our German engineers get rid of that minefield. As you can see, it's right in the way of all our advancing forces. We should also probably move this artillery piece up, but I can't help think I want to fire it first and move it later. It's a tough one. We're going to fire first. Sorry, boys. Get him. Good work, Mena. We'll also move forward with our Romanian mountaineers. And let's see what else we can do here. I think we moved everybody. We certainly have. Okay, guys, we're ending the turn. Let's hope for the best. Oh, ambush. Nice. Good fighting, boys. And they really want to keep that town under any circumstances. We're throwing caution to the wind, but oh well. You want us to attack you, so be it. You could surrender nicely, we could all sit down and have some strudel and have a good time, but you're going to try and attack us. Very well. We will make you pay dearly for this. Oh, we've got an enemy plane. This would be a good time to bring in our fighter. And it looks like he is bombing those units right there. He actually got a nice hit. And, oh no, we got another. It looks like possibly a Sturmovik. I think I'm going to have to go for the Sturmovik. I don't want Thor getting hurt. And although I don't think the Sturmovik is going to be able to do anything to Thor, I'm still worried. And it's actually a Yak one, so I was wrong. But I'm going to go ahead and engage with our Focke-Wulf. Not bad. Not bad at all. In the meantime, open fire with Thor. Come on, Thor, you could do better than that. And I believe we're about to take the first location here. Now, this is not a victory point, but there we go. And what did I tell you guys? Bridge blown. Our forces found the bridge rigged with explosives. Unfortunately, it was too late to deactivate them. This is why I set my troops in the east. There's a nice river going through the north here, and I know that the enemy's going to do everything they can to stop us from getting to the other side. One of the ways to get to the other side, of course, is to build some pontoon bridges. To do that, we actually need an engineer unit, and that's something that I might consider doing. Let's jump here into the chat, see what y'all are talking about. Very cool. So thank you, Lucas, is also sharing some interesting facts here. If you can resave your Moscow Corps, it will also carry over commanders and specializations. And hey, Historical Gamer, how you doing, my friend? Good to see you, man. Yes, absolutely, Byron. We were just trying to explain that, where we could build pontoon bridges, which is what I generally do. We could also repair the bridge, but I'm not really, you know, I'm not a fancy man. I don't mind. I don't mind a nice little pontoon bridge, as long as it's stable. Let's keep on moving. Got some artillery here. I'm definitely going to go ahead and fire on the bunker. And we actually managed to get a hit. Did not expect that. We've got our SS Panzerkampfwagen 4 F2. And we can absolutely destroy that bunker. But what I'm going to do is get over here so we can see who's in the town, and then open fire. Here we go, boys. Another location taken. Go ahead and keep firing at this town. They really want to keep us out, which is why I so badly want to get in. As for our Romanian troops, I will reinforce. Now, there's another cool thing that you got to take a look at here. If you go for regular reinforcements, I want you guys to take a look at the effect button. So, -9, okay, +5, and -39 experience. This introduces something into the game that really makes you have to think. Now, of course, you're not going to be able to get elite units all the time. If you do get elite units, you're not going to lose any experience at all. Unfortunately, if you grab some fresh units, you're going to pay less, but they're going to be less experience. But you can't really avoid that. You know, you're going to have to, you can't be spending money left and right just to get elite units. It's just not feasible. One thing I'm going to do, I'm going to attack this area with our German infantry. And this German infantry is German infantry 41, so I could actually still get a little bit better. And with this German unit, I am going to go for the town. Let's go for it. I think they're going to evac. Pretty sure they will. Get out of here. There we go, guys. We are on the road to victory, my friends. Very nice. But as you can see, the movement is slow. There's no doubt about that. I'm going to lose a few units here on the assault, but I'm not worried. I'm not even sure if it's worth reinforcing this Bofors. I mean, the thing with me and any sort of anti-tank gun in these sort of games, I just don't really see the importance of them. Primarily because, for me, the only time they're useful is when tanks are attacking you and they're lucky enough to try and hit the Bofors. So I'm going to hold off on that for now. Let's go ahead and hit this enemy artillery, though. 76 millimeter. This is not something you want landing in your backyard. There we go. Good work, boys. Our guys are doing pretty well, and I think it's time to maybe bring in some more units here if we're able. We still have these Romanians. They desperately need reinforcements, so I'm going to move them back. And I'm going to try to reinforce these units. Now, somewhere we had... There it is. I knew it. We had an anti-tank, or an AA gun. I'm putting that AA gun right there. So if the enemy gets close, we can open fire at them pretty quickly. Take a look here at the chat in a second, my friends. See what you guys are all on about. But I hope you guys are enjoying the game so far. So first things first, I'm going to purchase some infantry units. We'll see if we can get some SS. No, we're going to have to go for regular old Wehrmacht. Let's get some heavy infantry. And I'm just going to get a regular old truck to move them around. Wish I could move them a little closer, but I'll take that. And... this looks weird for a Panzer convoy. I don't know if it's just me, but it's a little strange. Alright, fair enough. I'm not going to judge. Let's put that tank there. And we're going to grab another infantry unit as well, because we are approaching, slowly but surely, the actual town here. So let's purchase this with an SDKFZ. I don't know, Lucas, if you could tell me, I'd love to know, do you think there's a big point in getting those SDKFZs to move the units around, or is it a waste of money? Are we better off getting a truck and not even worrying about getting attacked? I'm going to go ahead and also get rid of these mines with our engineers. We can actually set mines with these engineers, which is pretty funny. So the second you take them away, you can go ahead and reset them. And here we go, some Romanian artillery. I'm going to fire at their 45mm gun. Expecting to get more kills, but oh well. Keep it up, boys. Onward march. And if we zoom out, we can see we've already moved up quite a bit here. Of course, Sevastopol is there. It seems so close, but with everything in the way, all of the bridges in the way, etc., this is not going to be easy to break through. Not even a little bit. Let's jump here in the chat, see what you guys are talking about. Thanks, Byron. ATs can offer support fire, so they're pretty good, he says. Van Bishop says that Agrippa, the point is that most of the time anti-tanks are not implemented well. They were basically defensive units built mounting large calibers or on anything that moved. Interesting. Panzerkrieg stolen from the Frenchies, says our aristocrats. Thanks so much, Lucas. So he says, I don't really use the SDKFZs, perhaps because I always play on the hardest difficulty, and you don't get a lot of resources for fancy SDKFZs. That is a good point. Also, guys, make sure to check out the holiday sale that Muso's putting there. That's absolutely something you want to look at. And get the price, the best price you can, obviously. Let's move over here. Thor is still all right. And this infantry unit is also capable of starting to move across the water, but I don't think that's such a good idea. Oh, no, we're out of command points. All right, we may have to be forced to move across the water, or maybe we'll wait for the Panzerkampfwagen to go ahead and do his thing. Oh, yes, the Schnellboot. We've got some sort of enemy boat approaching, so I'm going to be very careful here. I'm not going to be the first to make contact. Let's see. Do we take a risk here and lose a Romanian infantry unit? Yeah, I think we do. We can get some reinforcements to that guy next turn, maybe, if I'm feeling friendly. Let's see if we get lucky. Yes! Beautiful! Look at that, guys. Oh, that beautiful, beautiful 17-centimeter K-18 just completely wasted that group of Russians. And these Russians absolutely love, and I mean love, to reinforce those units. They run away, they reinforce, they come back, and they just become a major problem. I'm going to bring in our Junkers, and I'm going to go ahead and drop some bombs here on this enemy infantry unit. Did we get any hits? Yeah, we did. Not bad. Good work, guys. Let's see what else we can do here. Got some heavy infantry. We want to start moving them forward, but once again, I'm not getting in the trucks to approach Sheroshnie. I'm definitely not going into trucks, because this particular thing, I just badmouthed all the anti-tank guns, but believe me, a 45mm anti-tank gun against a truck, that truck is gone. That truck is gone. Nothing left at all. I think that's it. We're going to end the turn. Nope. Don't care. We're not going to move him. We're not going to move him. Here we go, guys. Oh, they're going to try to mount a counteroffensive here on our tank. That was pretty nice. Now remember that, for the most part, armored units don't do very well in cities. That's something we've got to keep in mind. Wow, a lot of Russian air power. Not what I expected. But of course, to protect Sevastopol, they're going to use any resource that they can possibly use. Oh boy. What's this? What is that? What is that? Okay, guys, here we go. So we've destroyed 2 of 5 of the fortresses and concrete bunkers. I'm almost certain now that those machine gun nests are not the bunkers we're looking for, so we don't necessarily have to ignore them, but not very effective. So I want to shoot my torpedo. I'm not sure why I can't right here. Maybe I need to be at an angle. Maybe I just need to be a little bit closer to the unit. But let's just go ahead and just begin an attack. The Black Sea is ours, Russian. Run away. That was pretty effective. Some nice machine guns there on the front. I don't know why, but I've always seen the Schnellboots as sort of the German equivalent of the Coast Guard. That's nothing against the Coast Guard, believe me. There's a lot of people that like to make fun of the Coast Guard, but personally I think that they have a very important job. They really do. There we go. Nice. 1 Russian unit down. With our Focke-Wulf, I'm going to keep on chasing the enemy Yak-1. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. We've got our heavy German infantry unit now. We're going to move him forward. Oh, we are going to completely eviscerate these Soviet conscripts, guys. You see that, Soviet conscripts? I really like the image that Lucas chose for this one. So in the back, one of the Soviet conscripts is holding what looks to be a sword. And I actually wasn't really aware that some Soviets would carry swords. It always seemed to me to be kind of a bourgeoisie sort of thing, something that more the aristocracy would do, and in the Soviet Union might be looked down upon. But these are Soviet conscripts. They've got a sword. Guess not enough rifles to go around, and we're going to pulverize them with some extremely heavy machine gun fire. Let's go for it. Oh, yes. I expected to do a bit better, but you know what? I'll take that. Let's get rid of these guys right here. We don't want them surrounding us, that's for sure. Keep running, you dogs. Let's see if we can chase them off. Give them a little bombing. Nice work! Another kill by the Junkers. I love this bomber. I really do. Now, Junkers are big, they're bulky. But in terms of the amount of munitions they can drop on the enemy, few things can really rival them. As you can see here, for those of you that are new to the game, since we have this unit surrounded, we're actually going to be also getting supporting fire from our tank and infantry, so that might slightly increase our chances of winning this battle. As you can see, we've done one more bit of damage than expected, and even as much as I'd love to stay in this town, we've got to keep moving forward. So I'm going to go ahead and try to waste this Russian unit. This Soviet unit, actually. I must have saying Russian, because really the Soviet Union was not just Russians, but a conglomeration of numbers of different countries. You know, modern-day Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, etc. So I think the Soviet Union is definitely more appropriate. For instance, the Germans would actually take some Belarusian conscripts. Let's go ahead and grab some of these guys. We can upgrade our German infantry. Oh, yeah. They would take some Belarusian conscripts, you know, quite often, and put them in Ost brigades. Basically foreigner brigades that would fight on behalf of the Germans. And I'm pretty sure you wouldn't want to tell the Germans that you didn't want to fight for them, because I think that if they were even willing to accept you, it's pretty much you join us or you die. There's no other options, unfortunately. Okay, these guys look pretty tough, actually. Any perceived attack against this area is not being met with very good outcomes. So I'm going to attack with my SS Panzerkampfwagen Division. Nice. Very nice. Not bad. We could start moving closer, but I think I'm going to just keep on firing. Look at the distance. Oh, that distance is absolutely tremendous. Okay, I think we're going to try to get up close here. Oh, yes, run, run, run. And actually, that was perfect, because had we stayed here, we would have had a 45mm M1937 aimed right at our side. That's not something anybody wants to deal with. So let's go ahead. We're going to attack. Got a few Russian units over here. We got to pay attention to them. The Russians are very good at encircling us. So I'm going to keep this guy just to watch them, and I'm also going to repair our engineer unit. Let's open fire on this guy. Hopefully we get lucky. Yes, we do! Wow! Right now, our artillery and our bombers are getting so lucky. Look at all these dead Russians. They're getting a lot of really good shots. I want to go ahead and reinforce these guys. I think one of the most important things about this particular scenario, and I could be wrong, but is to always keep your guys reinforced. We want to keep our guys as strong as possible. Let's go ahead and take these guys out. And I'm actually not going to advance on that town. I'd love to, but I'm going to stay here in the woods where I'm nice and comfortable. And possibly bring some more units forward. Well, Thor, you have to do something. So, just fire. Oh, Thor's letting me down a little bit here. I'm a little disappointed with Thor. Expected more from him. Ah, and what's next? Stalingrad. Ha 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 ha. Mildolf says, Agrippa, I have read of one incident when Germans came across Russian cavalry and the Germans saw their swords gleaming in the sun. Interesting. Interesting, interesting. Actually, what I've got, for whatever reason, going in my head right now is Lili Marlene. I think, since we're playing as the Germans, I've got Lili Marlene consistently just going on in my head. Be one thing to look forward to as a German soldier. Alright, so let's take a look, see who else we haven't moved. Unfortunately, that plane is nowhere to be found. Well, fortunately or unfortunately. And this unit desperately needs reinforcements. This is one of the few times I've actually decided to give Romanian units reinforcements. So with the Renault R35, I'm going to move up. I'm actually going to go ahead and try to hit the enemy artillery here. Of course, that AT gun had to respond a bit. And it's actually the artillery that really dented our tank. The AT gun didn't even do anything to it. Yeah, let's go for the town. Oh yeah, wow, we got that town a little earlier than expected. Beautiful. Always like that, but I would like even better if we could go ahead and take that unit out once and for all. Let's see if there's anything else we can do. No, that's pretty much it. I was going to get that engineer unit, but now I'm starting to think maybe it's not the best idea in the world. Also, we have an engineer unit over here just in case we do need to build a bridge. Where is he? Where did that engineer unit go? There he is. Alright, I think we've moved everybody. Let's check. Yeah, I think it's time to probably go ahead and move forward with our artillery. Next turn. I told you guys I was indecisive. And we shall end the turn and turn it over to the Soviets. They're really desperately trying to break through our lines here, you can see. Still plenty of Soviet planes. Oh, 2, come on. That's way too much damage. Alright, we've got to get these Germans out of the river, like, now. And I think we can succeed, but I'm hoping the Soviets don't get the bright idea to put a tank here. Oh my goodness, what is that? Doesn't look like a T-34 to me, maybe a BT something. But it might push us out. Yes, it did. It pushed us out of the town. Oh, very sneaky. Very, very sneaky. Okay, interesting. Italian MAS boats have arrived to harass Soviet naval transports attempting to reinforce Sevastopol. Against the larger enemy warships, however, these torpedo boats will rely on air support from the Luftwaffe. Yeah, that pretty much makes sense. These boats are not going to be able to take out anything bigger than a transport boat. Although, they look pretty, right? That's the cool part. Let's go ahead and take a look here at the chat. I think it's lagging because we are many on this server. That's possible. 112 watching at the moment. Yeah, I mean, it's been a while since we had 112 watching. Yeah, there's definitely a little lag. I can see it now. I'm looking at your guys' screen. Got 2 there. Not bad. Could be better. This unit, of course. Oh, we can upgrade this guy. Hold on a second. Let's get a Panzerkrieg. No, we can't. We can't afford it. So we could get something else, maybe. Yeah, that's not so bad. I'd rather get... We can't get the Panzerkampfwagens. Alright, we'll settle for this one. I mean, it's better than nothing, right? As for Thor, you need to get out of here, buddy. You've let me down, Thor. You've let me down. You let a BT-7 walk into town. Just shameful. This is also leading me to believe that we almost certainly are going to need more units in the north here. Because if we don't have enough units in the north, well, they're basically just going to keep on, you know, counterattacking us, possibly cutting off our lines to the north. Who knows? So that worries me for sure. Is that Yak 7 plane? I see you, Yak 1. Sorry, it's a Yak 1. If it was a Yak 7, we'd be dead. There we go. Down to 2. Can we shoot him down? We're just not close enough. I am going to transport our AA gun closer. What I really want to do is get our SS units here. Let's get over here. We're going to attack them from the back. And like I told you guys before, this might seem like a small map, but the areas we have to take are not small. So let's send the engineers here, or actually the German infantry, sorry. Take out the enemy here. I think we can waste them. Good work, boys. Keep on moving forward with our tanks. So I'm not sure if by going through this area I'm making a mistake. We do have to take Incaman either way. But we're going to be going through a lot of different towns here, and that's going to definitely stress our forces out a bit. Let's move up with our Romanian mounted units. Actually, I've got a better idea. Do I destroy the artillery, or do I go for the... Ooh, I think I'm going to go for this unit right here with the heavy infantry. Ooh, they escaped. And now, yeah, we're going to open fire here at the artillery. The fact is the enemy can reinforce these guys, you know, at a moment's notice. The last thing we need are artillery guns that we just defeated coming back in full strength. You know, that's not going to help anybody. Except for the Soviets. Let's attack. Flamethrower. Oh, danke. Okay, not bad. And maybe we could cut across here. No, well, we got to get to Balaclava. But I think it's better to just continue the march forward with the rest of our men. Now, as you can see, we're in turn 5 of 30. So that gives us limited time to reach these objectives. And I'm stopping a lot to be able to reinforce these guys, make sure they're up to full strength, etc. And I'm not sure I should be doing that. You know, in most scenarios, I don't, because I'm trying to get to the objective as quickly as possible. But in this one, I'm sort of taking my time. I think he's going to be right there, and I think we can get a kill. Oh, you ran away. Well, that was not very nice. Okay, guys, we're going to keep on moving. Let's get out here of Kamshili. Got some Soviet engineers in the city. And as you guys probably know, I don't recommend almost ever, except maybe in this instance, I don't ever recommend using a tank to assault the city. Oh no, minefield. Ouch. That hurt. We'll get our Romanians closer here, and I'm going to reinforce them. Get these Germans a bit closer, too. Now we can start moving our artillery guns forward. To attack! Oh yeah, we've got this big AT gun back here. Let's hope there are no enemy partisans waiting for us. Seems safe. Alright guys, turning it over to the Soviets. Wow, there we go. Once again, we might need to get some fighters to stop the tremendous amount of Soviet air fire here. But I'm just not sure it's worth it. They're expensive. This is not cheap. And we did forget about our poor Schnellboot. Oh, that's entirely my fault. Not the Schnellboot. Am I even saying that correctly? Because it is one of the funniest words I've heard. Okay, let's take a look here. Capture all primary BPs were not even close. Destroy fortresses and concrete bumpers. What's this? Intercepted radio message indicate a further Soviet attempt to ship in new troops, this time carried out by warships of the Black Sea Fleet. Let me make it very clear. We cannot stand up to warships right now. We're lucky that we've got these vehicles in the Black Sea as is. You know, this is more or less controlled by the Soviets. So the fact that we're having to use these tiny little boats just to do a little bit of damage to the enemy is terrifying. As you can see here, look at this. This German unit is in serious trouble. There's no way this guy is going to survive. We're surrounded on all fronts. I'm going to try to run back. I will, of course, try and take the fight here to the BT-7. Not bad. Get Thor to open fire here as well. Looks like Thor may need to move forward a bit. And that right there, guys, the Maxim Gorky Fortress, that's the fortress we need to take out. One of the fortresses we need to take out, of course. Who to fire at? Oh, I think we'll get this guy. Let's go for the tank. Not even a little bit. Okay, well. Wow, it looks like neither unit can clear this minefield in time. That puts us in an interesting situation. Maybe we just ignore that minefield, and actually we could take this unit out right now. Let's do it. At this point, we're trapping the Soviets in. You can run around the woods all day, but you're not escaping us. Oh yeah. Got our Focke-Wulf here. Where's that frustrating Soviet plane? There he is. This guy has been bothering us for a long time. The Ilyushin Il-2. Oh, I love the sound of that machine gun. Come on, boys. Let's break through here. Flamethrower versus flamethrower. This is not a fight I'd want to be a part of. But we have taken one of the victory points. Now, holding it is an entirely different matter. But I think even across the river here, we can gun down these enemy engineer troops with our machine guns. Let's see if I'm right. Almost. Very almost, but not quite. Take that airfield as well. We'll actually let the Romanians take it. Hey guys, I think we're up to a pretty good start. Now that's a regular bunker, but once again, I'm not sure if it's considered a concrete bunker or not. Thanks, Condra. Use flanking attacks to increase your damage. Oh, I wouldn't say that, Muso. Maybe we should get you on here to try and see how you do with the basics. Alright, here we go. Let's go ahead and attack. Okay, let's move up here. Attack again. And this is really just our Romanian units wiping out the Soviets. Beautiful. There's a few pockets here, but they're not affecting us. This one might, actually. I'm a little worried about that one, so I'm going to open that one up because it's on a road. That might affect supply. I am going to move forward here with the infantry. Let's open fire. And let's move forward with our SS tank divisions. So as you can see, we've taken that particular area. We're now going for Inkerman. That's 2 out of 5. Then we have to take Barfanyevka, Sevastopol, and Balaklava. Balaklava actually looks like not the hardest to get to, but sort of the strangest location because it's just kind of out of the way. So I'm thinking we might actually grab this guy and send him on kind of a, I hate to say a suicide mission, but that's kind of what this is, to see if he can't find a way into that area. Let's move up here. Yeah, let's get 1 versus 1. I'd love that. You're literally a pro now. I think I've done test. There we go. There we go. That's working out well. Finally. Let's take a look here at the comments. Condra, Agrippa is the only wargamer who didn't read the game manuals. That's actually true. That's actually true. I don't discount that. I generally like to sort of, I like to make my own mistakes, and this way I sort of learn that way. Unless a game is extremely complicated, I generally don't touch the manual. Let's see. Okay, we've got to get rid of these mines. They're just frustrating. So I'm going to go ahead and use our Romanians to break them. It's going to take 2 turns, but I think it's worth it. But I like everybody's idea for a 1-versus-1, me and Musso. Let's see who wins. We'll even give Musso the advantage, actually. We'll play a game where he has the advantage. Not Stalingrad. That's not quite fair if he's playing as the Russians, but maybe another battle. All right, let's keep on moving. Move with trucks, or with... Fortunately, we don't have the best movement capabilities, but hey, horse and buggy is going to get you somewhere. I think I'm going to open fire on the enemy artillery. Oh, yes. And I think we can take the city. Man, we're off to a decent start here. We are definitely off to a decent start. I'm going to try to cut off these Soviet units. And there we go, another concrete bunker. Fort Stalin. They definitely don't want to lose that, that's for sure. Oh, we've got our nice little plane here. Oh, we got the lag back. We were good there for a few seconds. Did more people join? Don't worry, it's temporary. It's definitely temporary. It keeps coming and going. But I think it definitely has to do with just the amount of people we have on the server here. It's good news. We're clogging up the servers here at Twitch. It's a great feeling. Let's open fire on this guy, hopefully getting a lucky shot. Ooh, that was very close. Well, now we can turn it over to the enemy. But first I want to see what you rapscallions are talking about here. So Byron is saying you should use the heavy infantry's mortars as well. Generally I would if I felt that the enemy was stronger, but in this case we seem to be strong enough to break through and not lose a lot of guys. Let's see. Thank you so much, Pixel. Appreciate it, man. Okay, we're going to turn it over to the Soviets. Wow, they're getting pretty desperate at this point, even sending units with 1 up against our forces. Although here, unfortunately, our Romanians are taking a beating. There we go, lagged on again. It's really interesting. I think this is the first game on a Slytherin stream. And it's almost certainly due, once again, more blown bridges, almost certainly due to the amount of people on the server where we've actually had a little bit of lag, which is really cool. I'm actually really pleased that so many people showed up. Once again, I want to thank everybody. This is definitely an Order of Battle DLC you don't want to miss. So I think you guys all made the right decisions. We probably will go over some of the basics of this new DLC as well, because this actually adds quite a lot to the game, to the base game. So we're going to talk about those. We talked about them earlier, but a lot of people have been entering the actual stream now. So we're going to absolutely try and touch upon that again, because I think it's quite important. There's really a lot here. Let's get rid of these guys. And we're on to our second location. We're getting closer, Mena. Leave no one alive. Main reason I'm going to follow through with this infantry unit, I want to see what's over here. So actually, Inkarman, it seems like a pretty nice little town here. We've got T-34 model 1940. Not as deadly as the T-34 we know and love, but still deadly. As you can see, if we go up against them with our tank, the chances are we're going to be the ones taking the hit. So I think we need to focus primarily on the enemy infantry units. Of course, we've got to do something about the T-34. What we're going to do, I'm not sure. Maybe artillery is the answer here to the question, and we'll bring this AT gun down. But that guy's going to be hard to kill. It's not an easy mark at all. So I could go straight for Inkarman. I think I should be able to, right? There's somebody in Inkarman. Open fire. And let's go for this concrete bunker. So this is, of course, part of our objectives, is to destroy these concrete bunkers with prejudice. And this one for Stalin. I'd love to see the commander here have to call High Command and explain to them that he lost Fort Stalin. That's not going down well. There we go. Good work, boys. Where is our plane? Our Focke-Wulf? I think we can actually take out the enemy plane right here. We've been trying to kill him the entire time, and I think this Yak-1 is finally going to go down, and he's going down behind enemy lines, which means he's either dead or he's going to be a prisoner. There he goes, right into the woods. I don't think he survived that attempted emergency landing. Nonetheless, let's keep trying to hit these guys with our bombers. Close enough, kind of. Come on, Romanians. Nice! Excellent. Absolutely excellent. We'll fire with Thor here. I'm going to move this infantry unit back and reinforce with some conscripts. And we'll keep on moving forward with our heavy infantry units. So let's get this guy over here. And yes, I am traveling by truck, but I don't expect the enemy to attack us. Of course, I say that every time before getting demolished by the enemy in a truck. Let's keep on going and keep on moving forward here. Plenty of tanks. Keep on going across. Don't stop, boys. At this point, it's becoming a bit of a mopping up operation here in the south. Moving forward with our heavy infantry. So, what somebody mentioned earlier, they were talking about this button right here, which essentially allows you to switch to mortar fire. And this is great when you're facing a unit that's like a bit stronger than you are, or a unit that you're not going to do so well in combat with. In this case, we're doing great in combat against the enemy, so there's really almost no need to use that. We just don't need it. It's that simple. We're pretty much fine as is. Otherwise, I would definitely use those additional attacks. And, well, this guy is not in such a good place. I think I will attack the bunker. This guy's in an even worse place, but we'll bring some experienced recruits. It's only one anyway, to the cause. So, once again, guys, just to run over a few of the basics, one thing about recruiting now, which I find a lot more realistic, is if you get regular recruits, I'm just taking a look here, I'm mousing over the repair effect, you could see that if you're taking regular recruits, you're going to take a hit to experience, so -6 experience points. If you pay the full price, you're going to, of course, not have to worry about experience points. And in this case, for some reason, the elite repair is the same price as the regular repair. So in this case, you really would be, well, you'd be fine with both. Let's move over to where our beautiful boats are. And once again, I'm not sure why I can't fire a torpedo at that unit. Maybe it's just too small. The Soviet guard ship. Let's sink them with our Italian friends here. Okay, there we go. She's sinking, and I love the sinking animations in this game. You first see, of course, some fire. You see some smoke, and eventually this goes down to the bottom of the ocean. You've got a little bit of oil here, burning oil on top of the water. Very, very cool. So we're going to send one of our Italian boats down here to basically spy on the enemy, especially if they're bringing in any troop transport ships to defend Sevastopol, which I'm sure they are. We want to be ready for them. This is the only time I would put a tank on a river tile. Goodbye, Danke. There we go, another win. And we've still got this gun. Try to get him out of the way of that guy, the Ilyushin 2. And we can end the turn here pretty soon. Let's take a look here. That's another thing, actually, Byron, what you just mentioned reminds me of something else, and that is, for most of you that have played Order of Battle, you already know this, that occasionally you get commanders which you can assign to your troops, you know, to basically improve their statistics, etc. And, of course, that's the same here. I mean, you could, of course, unlock commanders. So far, we don't have any. We've just got our men out here, but they're doing a great job. I mean, look at this, guys. We started all the way over here where you see these burning tanks. We are now all the way here. We've taken one of the victory locations over here. We're still going for Balaclava. We're about to take another victory location here. And then all we have to focus on is Sevastopol and Bartenyevka. These are, of course, not easy places to break through to, but you know, you can do anything if you try. At least that's what I've heard. I don't know if that's actually true. Let's end the turn here. Okay, guys, we did have a little crash here. I was warning you guys that could happen, unfortunately. Let's try to jump back in. It actually went quite a while. This is a beta build. So we're going to try and get back to where we were. Now, one great thing as well about Order of Battle is the autosave system. I love the autosave system on this game. Personally, I'm a save scummer myself. I like to save almost to the point of madness, to be quite honest with you. And the way that this particular game works, it's really, really great at basically saving for you, essentially, right before the end of your turn. That's always a bonus, and really helps me out quite a bit. I think we've moved just about everybody. Let's see if we can purchase any more units, because I think it's time to get some more. Who wanted the Stuka? Let's see if we got some Stukas. There is the Stuka. Okay. We're gonna have to drop him all the way back here, though. It's gonna take him a while to get over here. Okay, ending the turn. Oh, they're definitely prepared with artillery. They've got that Il-2 still on us. It's like he won't leave us alone. Now, yes, they did break through, but this is where we get to show you guys what happens when you cut off an enemy unit. And yeah, they're moving that T-34 into town. He is not happy. Wow, our guys fought back pretty well there. And of course, these units are coming directly from Sevastopol, so I'm actually not that surprised that they've got a T-34 on the way here. Alright, we have to destroy 1 fortress and 5 concrete bunkers, 3 of 5. I think the concrete bunker, or the fortress, is the one we still have to get. So let's see if we can't kill this fellow here. Not great. Let's grab our Panzerkrieg, and now, of course, we're flanking the enemy from both locations. This should be a lot easier. In fact, I'm even going to move these guys up. Oh, you're having some trouble running away, are you? Now, here's what we could do, and this is really risky. We could definitely destroy that tank this turn, but that would mean moving our tank over here into the river and out of the town. And then the only person able to hold is going to be our German infantry unit. I'm going to do it. Sorry, guys. T-34s are not friendly units. They're extremely dangerous. And he still got away. So let's go ahead and grab this guy. Oh, we might not be able to move back into town. In that case, let's reinforce. We'll retake it in the next attack. We can actually go ahead, waste these units here. And trust me, any of the Soviet units going into Fruktove are in for a very nasty surprise because we've got them covered from all fronts. Got a ton of units advancing here. Of course, we do want to focus on these concrete bunkers. Let's try to waste them. Just as important in this mission to destroy concrete bunkers as it is to take out the enemy troops. And that sounds like a mean gun, too. Nice. All right, let's see how we perform against this T-34. It's not looking too good, boys and girls. I'm going to reinforce. We'll bring our SS T-34 over, our SS, shame on me, our SS Panzerkrieg in here. But as you can see, we're in swamp. And location is extremely important in this game, even more so after the release of this DLC. So we're not in a good area to attack. That being said, we're still going to attack. This is a T-34, and I'll stop at nothing to get rid of it, take it off the map. Let's go ahead and fire some artillery here. There we go. We got another one. Beautiful. Got him down to 5. And realistically, we should have moved this unit right there, actually. T-34, you don't feel so happy now, huh? I wonder why. Let's see if our Romanian friends can see we're getting the bonus there. Can assist in taking this bunker out. Take one more attack and this thing is gone for good. In the meantime, though, there's no reason why we can't look for that enemy IL-2. There she is. And look at this. Wow, guys. So this is, of course, Balaclava. This is one of the areas we're trying to take. But I did not expect so much enemy resistance here. We're, of course, going to put up a fight. Move some more of our units up to assist. But overall, I'm a little surprised. So see, as you can see, we're cutting this unit off. They're not going to be able to move. I mean, it's that simple. Once we cut them off, they are stuck for good. We'll move forward here. I want to destroy the enemy 76mm gun. And at the same time, I want to cut the enemy off here via road. So we're slowly but surely cutting the enemy off from any sort of support they may or may not be able to get. And we'll continue our attack on this particular bunker. And trust me, flamethrower against any sort of bunker is extremely, extremely effective. Let's move this guy in, and look at this. We're flanking the enemy. They did not expect us to come from across this river. This, of course, is our German Paratroopers 41, also known as our Suicide Squad. So let's send them in. Their job was to detect enemies in this area, and they've accomplished that job so far. Okay, we've got our Italian boats. And we're basically just looking for something. Oh my goodness, look at all these Soviet ships here. Oh my goodness, those are Soviet infantry transports. We can attack them with a torpedo, guys. Our Italians are going to launch their torpedoes, the MAS. What does MAS stand for, Musso? Because Musso can tell us. He's Italian, he should know this. Find out. Open fire. Yes. And see, the thing is, even if these troop transports do land, they're going to be landing with that number, with just 6, which really isn't anything to write home about. What else to get? What else to get? I always like the tanks. Unfortunately, we can't get them. Yeah, we're out of command points. That unit is also completely cut off. Should start bringing reinforcements to these units soon, but I've been trying to play it really, really slow, you know, just to make sure everybody survives. For instance, we can get a pretty good attack here, but I think it's better to actually reinforce these guys. But, you know what? Let's go for it. And they're fighting desperately. I mean, if you look behind them, there's a burned-out, broken bridge. They're not running away anywhere. So it's not like they're just going to give up. They know that death is their next horizon in this battle. So they're going to have to do everything to try and avoid it. Get some reinforcements to these guys. And with these Romanian units, yeah, why not? We can send them to... we have enough units on the southern front. Let's send them here. Move our artillery forward. And the Stuka dive bomber is ready for a kill, guys. So a lot of people have been asking about the Stuka and whether or not it's got the loudspeakers on it, like many Stukas did. We're about to find out. Oh, yeah, it does. So there we go. Nice kill by the Stuka. So that sound that you hear, that sort of sound, those are loudspeakers put on the actual Stuka to make it more intimidating to the enemy. I'm pretty sure, and I'm sure Lucas, the creator of the game here, can tell us, I'm pretty sure that those were used, it was used as a method of terror, of terrorizing the enemy, which of course in war is extremely important, but maybe not. Maybe it had another use. Personally, as I said before, I think it wasn't the smartest idea. I get the idea to terrorize the enemy, but maybe something you should maybe put on one of your Stuka dive bombers. Let's say you've got a squadron of 12, put it on one, let the rest be fairly silent, because it doesn't really look great for you. All right, we're going to end the turn here. Interesting. So, a lot of counterattacks here by the enemy for sure. How do we deal with them? Well, we've already got this guy cut off. And let's actually see here in the comments, how do you guys think that the Russians did with those counterattacks? Did they do a good job? Could they have done better? Let us know in the comments down below. I'm going to fire with our SS division. Oh, what's wrong? You don't want to fight? But just a moment ago you wanted to fight us. What happened? Alright, fair enough. Grab these guys as well. I wish we could get across that bridge, and we probably could if they didn't destroy it, because we could certainly go 2 movement points this way, 2 movement points this way, but only 1 this way. Ah, and also there are enemies on the bridge, but I think I'm going to fire at the enemy heavy machine gun unit. The heavy infantry unit to me is a bigger threat, without a doubt. Alright, let's take a look here. So Zach said Mike's gone very quiet now. Is that a little bit better? I do have it a little bit farther from me than before. Let's see if this is better for the mic. Here we go, guys. And the Romanians will get the glory of destroying this bunker right here. Awesome work, guys. And now we move on to the next one. But not before we get rid of the enemy infantry units. Run, run, run. See if you can escape. I'm going to try to cut them off here. Oh, hello. How are you doing? That's what I thought. Alright, we're going to move forward. And I told you we'd take it back, and we did. Now, these guys are trapped behind enemy lines. The point is, though, they have been doing some damage to Old Thor here, and we don't want Old Thor to get hurt. He's a good guy. So we're going to go ahead and try to waste them with our Romanians. They're wading through the river. Open fire. Nice, nice, nice. I will go ahead and claim that area. And let's see if we can finish these guys off. Oh yes, boys. It has begun. Now what's frustrating me is we've got this LAGG-3 attacking our beautiful Stuka. Now why would you do something like that? That's just not nice. Let's move back here. I don't want to lose the Stuka, so I'm going to try to escape with her. And where is that guy? There's our Volkurf. Here she is. Let's see if we can bring the fight to the enemy. No, he's just a little too far, unfortunately. But we'll start flying that way. Artillery, absolutely. I would say sorry to the civilians like we do in a lot of our Flashpoint campaign scenarios when we play Flashpoint campaigns, because that's a more modern war, and obviously we care about the civilians, but in this case we're playing as the Germans in a very bloody war. So I'm just going to say best of luck to the civilians right now, because we're trying to destroy the enemy under any circumstances. If that means killing civilians in the bombardment, unfortunately, that's a price we have to pay. Well, there we go. She's going to run back, and of course we got to take Bartnievka. We're so close to Bartnievka, then Sevastopol, and then Balaklava. I mean, we're close, guys. Now, the enemy has cut off our Romanian tanks here. That's part of their little offensive, but it's one of the reasons why we sent the Suicide Squad out. he should be able to reconnect, and he did. I'm going to have the Suicide Squad attack. I should have had the Romanians attack, though, because since they were out of supply for that one turn, they don't have as much... Oh, no, they're fine. I thought they weren't going to have as much gasoline, but they're doing just fine. Let's see if they can finish off the enemy with, of all things, a French tank, a Renault R35. Nicely done, men. Wunderbar. And look at this. Okay, T-26 against a Panzerkampfwagen 4. Goodbye, T-26. Didn't even damage us. We did 6 damage, and we're going to keep chasing him. So with these guys, I really do want to attack, but I think I'm going to reinforce. Okay, what else can we do? Take our Germans, but they also need reinforcement. Remember, guys, when I said I wouldn't move the 37mm forward to do anything? Well, I just changed my mind, because, interestingly enough, the 37mm cuts through a BA-10 like a knife cuts through, or a hot knife cuts through butter. So let's go ahead and open fire here on the BA-10. Boom! Nice. I'm not moving them across the river, though. That would not be smart. But I will see if I can upgrade this unit to a more advanced unit. So let's see if we can maybe... No, this would just be, actually, we'd be downgrading, essentially. So let's just bring him some advanced reinforcements. This way we won't lose any experience, so that unit will be just as strong as it was before. And I want to also do the same with these guys, but I want to cut the enemy off, so we're going to move a bit closer, and I'm not attacking. We would not fare well in that attack. No way. Okay, let's take a look here at the shit. Yes, you can definitely buy Recon Planes, Wavell. We can actually go ahead and try to do that now. So the Recon Planes, for the most part, are an unarmed plane. You know, all they really do is discover information about enemy units on the ground. Very useful. I'm not sure if we can afford one, but we're going to try. So let's go for the Recon. You can also get some Recon SDKFZs, etc. But I just want to go ahead and get an Arado AR-196. It's actually a really good suggestion on your part, because now this way we can recon the area and sort of see what the enemy has in store for us. That being said, I wouldn't always buy Recon Planes. Be careful buying them. They're very easy to shoot down, as you guys could probably imagine. Let's see if we can possibly do something here. Ooh, we can get some fighters. Und tactical bombers. Let's try out the... Let's get another Stuka, of course. How can I not? You never have enough Stukas in any World War II game, that I'll tell you. I wonder if there are any Stuka-based games, actually. That would be interesting. Let's go ahead and repair here. Definitely repair. Now, we could actually drop mines with this engineer unit, but with just one representing their power, I don't think they're going to do very well with mines. So let's keep moving. This guy could also use some reinforcements. We're going to move him forward to take that spot back, and we're going to reinforce him. It's only a 12% experience loss, and yeah, it's not a lot, but it really does add up. So be careful with that. You know, make sure that you're only adding conscripts to units you not necessarily don't really care about, but units that you can kind of afford to lose, basically. All right, let's move up here. Unfortunately, this guy cannot attack with his torpedoes. He's already fired them. And the cooldown is 5. Wow. So these Italian torpedo boats are not the best. Let's open fire on the Soviet infantry. All right, the Soviets just laughed at that. That was not very effective. They were just kind of like, hey, it's very funny, Italian. You can try next time, but not much luck. Let's try to move forward. We could try to go this way, or we could go to the north. I'm actually heading right for the center. No reason to really move the AA gun. And I guess, well, we definitely want to open fire here, but I want to open fire on a unit that's definitely going to take damage. So we're going to fire at this Soviet infantry with an 8 attack power. Pretty good. Nice shooting. And we've got our Romanians here, but I think they need to get a bit closer to be able to fire. So let's move them up. Nice horse transport. Very modern. Very modern, the horse transport. Let's go ahead and give Thor some points here. Okay, guys, that's it. Let's turn it over to the Soviets. No, we don't want to move him. Well, you know what? We might as well. Those troops transports, they are probably going to be dropping soon. That's why we got to get our boats close as soon as we can and try to waste those troop transports, blow them up. As you can see, the enemy's cutting off our units. They're doing a good job there. But we're also right there. We're right at the gates of Sevastopol at this point. It's you know, literally on the other side of the river, Sevastopol begins. So we are very close. Very close, and we're only on turn 9 of 30, so I think that if we continue this, we can absolutely get a victory. I'll let Lukash be the judge of that. Lukash, of course, is the creator of the game, the Artistocrats, the awesome team. He can tell me whether or not he thinks this would eventually be a victory. And destroy 1 fortress and 5 concrete bunkers. So we've destroyed, I believe we've destroyed the 5 concrete bunkers. Now we just need to destroy that fortress. That would be our focus, which would be this thing right here. So we'd have to basically shift our focus here, which definitely takes away from the rest of our invasion. But it's got to be done. It's got to be done. Am I right? Let's reinforce them. That is going to be a tough nut to crack. Might as well get rid of the machine gun post. And let's grab our Romanian units, move forward. Even Thor can move forward. Although he's quite a heavy guy, so it's not exactly easy to move him around, let's be honest. Reinforce. Let's take a look here at the chat. Take care. Thor wants a piece of that fortress. Thanks so much for stopping by, Artistocrats. Appreciate it, Lucas. Have fun, man. Okay, let's take a look here. Zach Blood says this is his favorite battle of all time. I think they were talking about Market Garden. Yeah, Market Garden was, wow, what an interesting fight. I mean, I think, and this is going to sound really weird, but I think for the Allies, it was the best defeat they could have hoped for. You know, of course, it wasn't a victory, but I like to think it was a pretty good try. That's why you still got movies like Bridge Too Far, etc., to discuss Market Garden. You know, it was definitely a really, really major plan, and not an easy one to accomplish by any means. Let's go ahead. Goodbye. Get our Romanian tanks behind the enemy. So this is, we're actually encircling the enemy while they encircle us. We're playing a game here of who can encircle the other person the most, basically. Right now, they seem to be winning just slightly. Okay. Got to open this area up here. I'm going to have these units get rid of the minefield. Sorry, guys. You are our suicide squad after all. And I'm just going to reinforce these guys. I honestly shouldn't even have moved them here. But mistakes are made here. See if these guys can finish off the infantry trying to escape. Nice. There they go. Goodbye. Okay, moving across. And once again, I said I wouldn't put a tank in the river. I lied. And the reason being, we've got some enemy infantry here retreating across the river. This is the perfect opportunity for us to pick as many of them off as possible, and eventually cut this city off. And at that point, it's going to be easy to take. They won't be getting any supplies. They can't move. They can't reinforce. They're going to be in a tough spot. In that being said, we're still going to attack this area, but but I think I can focus my attack now on Bartievka mostly. That area has definitely got a lot more bunkers around it. That being said, this particular town here is the gateway to Sevastopol, so we can't just ignore it, unfortunately. This Soviet heavy infantry is fighting to the last man to try and defend it. Alright guys, we're getting to that point in the stream where we are winding down. I do want to first of all thank everybody for showing up. We had so many viewers to this stream. Let me know if you guys had fun in the comments below. And if you'd like to see some more Order of Battle in the future. I will say I'm going to save this game because I'd love to come back to this and finish it. But I'm going to be totally honest with you guys. This is a beta version. So the chances are this save is not going to be able to carry over. I'm going to leave it up to you guys to get the game and take Sevastopol for yourselves. I think you can do it. I think you guys think you can do it too. We're also going to try to save these guys by getting them to the nearest airfield we can, but I don't think they're going to make it. So we may have some planes crash here, which is obviously not good for our bottom line. But I'm still going to try, keyword try, to fly back. Stukas can make it at least, so let's send them back, and we'll bring a few more Stukas forward. Maybe we can get one more attack. We're gonna have to use them to attack that fortress, the Maxim Gorky fortress. Great name for a fortress, by the way. Thanks, Lucas. He says, I'm slightly disappointed that you aren't losing, but other than that, it was fun. Yeah, this is one of the first where I'm actually doing okay. You might have to ramp up the difficulty level a bit. No, I think it's plenty difficult. I love the map. And guys, I want to be very clear that Sevastopol, the map we chose, it's quite a ways into the game. So that's the reason this one's a bit harder. You're not going to be facing extremely challenging maps right away. You know, as far as I've experienced the Order of Battle franchise, you know, the game, usually the maps get consecutively more difficult with maybe a fun map thrown in. There's something on Kriegsmarine where I think it's like scenario 4 or 5, where basically your job is to use submarines to take down supply boats, and it's a very, very easy mission in my opinion. So it's not necessarily going to keep getting progressively harder, but generally that's the way I've seen the game react. Let's take a look here at the chat. Hako's asking Artistocrats for an Italian DLC. Yeah, I think it would actually be interesting, especially the invasion of Ethiopia pre-war. The first invasion of Ethiopia would be interesting, and we already have done some pre-war stuff. I believe it's Rising Sun. I don't quote me on that, but of course we've got the Sino-Japanese War represented in the game, which started in 1937. So that's 2 years before the start of World War II. So I think it would definitely be possible, but obviously that's entirely up to Lucas and the rest of the Artistocrats team to decide. You know, I can't say one way or the other. One thing I can say is that, you know, the past of this game has been consistent DLCs. I see no reason why we won't have another DLC coming up, but I have no information on what that DLC is about. I wish I could tell you guys, but I honestly don't know. So anyway, guys, Musso here is going to share everybody's YouTube channel. We want to make sure that you guys also subscribe to our YouTube channels. It's, you know, very important to take a look. We want to try and maybe start doing some series on those channels, but we really need more engagement. And then we could actually continue games maybe in a Let's Play version away from the stream. But that's entirely up to you guys. And listen, I'm losing my voice a little bit. But this is just such a fun game. I have had a blast, and just really, really cool stuff. And I think I would have won this one. I'm saving just to see if maybe we can come back and finish it up so you guys can see a victory. And once again, also take a look at the holiday sale. This is the best time to pick up a lot of our most expensive games. Not to mention, I think Commando is 75% off if I'm not mistaken. So anybody that wants to get Command, go get it now. And thank you so much, guys, for stopping by once again. Happy Thanksgiving to all our American friends and to all our friends around the world. Why not, right, guys? Thank you, Musso, for moderating as always. And thank you to the Artistocrats for stopping by and checking out the stream. All right, guys, take care. Have a great holiday. And don't eat too much turkey.